Yo, what's up guys? This is Arise and welcome to another video where the spider is back. Galvantula has been putting in some work for myself in the Go Battling. We start things off with a fancy little catch on the Hydro Cannon, waiting a mud shot there in between the Volt Switch, and we lure out this Registeel. So immediately, not the best situation in the world. We've got Galv on Swampert, we've got Jelly on Registeel. Let's see if we can try and make something out of this situation. Sometimes you have to think, like, how can I possibly gain an advantage from here? And how do I deal with this situation in the least menacing way? So I commit to the Shadow Ball here. Now the problem is, although we have a Scrafty in back, Scrafty gets majorly threatened by the Focus Blast from a Registeel. So what I decided to do here is come in with my Galv simply just to soak the move that Reggie's going to throw here. I know that Galv's lined up against a Swampert anyway. Then I'm going to hard swap Scrafty. Hope they don't have a hard answer. And it is a Skarmory. Now, of course, Skarmory's going to expect Scrafty to pup early to boost up the attack. So I actually go for the Foul Play first. And it goes through. That's pretty big for me. And now I'm probably going to just go straight pup. So Skarmory's left with a bit of an awkward situation. I build up to Foul Play. I throw the Power Up Punch bait. Are we going to get a shield from the opponent here? We are. That's pretty big. We get a shield from the opponent and a move coming through from the opposing Skarmory. Sky Attack gets shielded, of course. I'm committing to the counter down, hoping I get it. I do get it. Now I'm debating whether I go for the pup bait or the Foul Play. I go for the Foul Play. It is going to land. We're going to try and go for a catch on our Galv. We don't successfully catch, but we do get off the lunge. And now this is so awkward, man, because the Swampert has so much energy. We know that Reggie is waiting for us as a catch opportunity. So this is such an awkward spot. I could have thrown right away, and I didn't, but I did get the CMP, and I should live a debuffed Hydro Cannon. It looks like we're lagging here. And we get a third shield. Oh, man. The haters. Oh, no, dude. Oh, no. The haters are going to say, I won because of lag. I forgot about this. Oh, no. The comments are going to be crazy. I think I live a debuffed Hydro, but to be fair, it would have been close, actually. With that amount of health Scrafty had remaining, I don't know, because the Hydro did 25%, I believe, of what it should have done, because it was like a zero bubble Hydro Cannon, essentially. Maybe I did get bailed out. I don't know. Someone do the math on PvPo. Just kidding. That'd be tough math to try and figure out. But a close game, nonetheless, game one. Maybe we won that only because of lag, maybe not. And here we go, game number 2. And check it out, I actually do the same thing. So if you try and catch while you keep tapping and throwing Volt Switches, you're not going to be able to catch because they're just going to throw in between. So notice how I did 2 Volt Switches. I waited a Shadow Claw, and then I caught. If the opponent's a little bit more patient, they might be able to notice that. But you got to be pretty quick to react, so I don't blame them. I've done the same thing myself. And now the Jellymeister trying to put in some work here against Sandslash. I'm debating whether I want to shield or not. And I do decide to shield to get off this Shadow Ball I have loaded. So this way I can force the last shield from the opponent or potentially knock out the Sandslash. And, yeah, here we go. Our opponent hard swaps in Giratina Altered. And this is kind of awkward because, as you see, the Foul Play doesn't quite do half. So I'm not sure if the correct play is to like pup first and then go for Foul Plays. But I decided just to go straight Foul Play because now he's at half health. So I do feel like a counter down is feasible after the next Foul Play lands. And yeah. Sorry, I keep adjusting my headset. So now we're going for a hefty counter down. And these claws don't do too much to Scrafty. He's a bulky boy. We still have our Galvin back, and I'm hoping this was like his hardest Galv answer, so maybe Galv can hopefully put in work in the back. But dude, there's a freaking Zygarde, dude. What in the world was this? Zygarde, and that is trolling by discharging, because this game is over. Like, This is a triple resisted discharge. Like, but you're going to see how much a lunge does. I just get completely walled by this thing. He crunches me. I do 2 to throw in proper timing. And you're going to see how little this lunge does, dude. Does so little. Zygarde is so dang bulky. Unreal, dude. Zygarde in the Ultra League, come on. Come on. So, we could have said the algorithm was out to get us with the Zygarde on our Galvantula. But we keep on going, and we're going to try and fight back. We're 1-1 this set. Let's see if we can steal the next battle. Entrenador. Galv into Cresselia. Positive lead for me. Backline has some play against Crest, but the Scrafty matchup is actually quite bad in my opinion because Moonblast does so much double super effective damage, and Foul Play just doesn't quite hit hard enough. It does less than half to Crest, so like 2 Foul Plays isn't even enough. We do get the attack fell. He goes for Future Sight. I'm going to overfarm a little bit. I was actually expecting him to throw, and I was just going to shield anyway, but he keeps on farming and does himself a disservice because now he shields, and I have the back-to-back. So now he has to double shield if he wants to keep his Crest around. I think this lunge should knock out. He double shields, and at this point, I'm going to just be willing to let my Galvantula go. Future Sight still knocks out even after all the debuffs. In comes Gira. So what I decided to do here is go for the Shadow Ball because this does more than a Foul Play. So this should put him into like Foul Play range. And then I go Scrafty. So the Shadow Ball did some hefty damage to put him into Foul Play range. And the Cresselia should also be in Foul Play range. So I feel pretty decent about this situation. Also, if it's something like a Poliwrath in back, I'm always cognizant these days that there could be a Poliwrath in back because Poliwrath is just super common right now. In the Ultra League, it's super good. There's a reason it's super common. So we do knock out the Gira. There it is. There's the Poly. So this is kind of rough because Poly is going to counter me down completely and is probably going to be able to debuff my Jelly multiple times. But because I have a just severe matchup advantage here, we're hoping the Jellicent can close out this game. Icy Wind does some damage versus us, but not a whole lot of damage. I don't know why I phrased it like that, because it's really not much damage. Scald, gonna hurt a little bit more, but I really want to save my shield for the Crest. If I start expending shields on Poly, the Crest could pose an issue, and once we connect it on the Shadow Ball, our opponent top lefted. So a nice little 2-shield flex there, and a nice win. Galv was a core breaker against his team, to be fair, so pretty tough matchup for our opponent to try and overcome that Galv lead since he was double weak. Next battle, who we got? Oh, it's Home Slice Henry. Now, I'm intrigued to see what you guys think about this battle. So, really good lead for me. He swaps Greed, and I'm a little slow to react, but I swap in Scrafty. And so right now, we're kind of just RPSing Home Slice Henry. Trailblaze connect. Sorry for the flickering you're seeing there. That's not you, if you're wondering. That was my stream. My stream software has been having some issues, or my screen mirror rather. But we're in a pretty dominant matchup here. Now, one concern I have is if there's something in back that that I kind of need my Scrafty for. So I kind of want to preserve my Scrafty. Pup might have been enough there, so maybe I should have just pupped. I'm going to go for my boosted Foul Play. And after this, you're going to see me hard swap into Galv. And let's see. Debating whether I should shield or if he's going to bait me. I do correctly shield the Scald. Gets the attack drop. I go for a discharge here. And he is going to let Squidward go down. He comes in Guzzlord. I'm like, And he top lefts. Now, Henry thought that that was completely over because I just get debuffed to Oblivion. I am not 100% convinced it was completely over just because the Guzz matchup is so dominant against Jelly. I think it was probably over, but I don't know, because if he double shields the lunges, he hasn't taken much fast move damage. I still Scrafty. So let me know in the comments. Do you think that game was completely over or not? I think most people thought it was over. It was a justified top left. Part of me still thinks it was a little bit early, but I guess we'll never know. Like, was that Kanye that said that? Now we play G Weezy, and this is Conky. He's a terrific player. I played him at NAIC last season. Discharge connects on G Weezy, knocks it out. In comes another Squidward. Tentacruel been more popular since the Scald buff, of course. See it a little bit more often. We are going to try and just do as much damage as we can with our Galv. We have a hard answer here with our Jelly, so we're just making sure we maintain alignment. No reason for me to give up swap there, in my opinion. I just want to keep my Jelly aligned with the Tentacruel. Expecting him to catch, but no, he's not catching, so now I'm wondering, what the heck's in the back? Shadow Ball gets shielded, and then he top left, so my guess is he had a Poliwrath probably in the back. Probably had a Poliwrath in the back. I don't know. I don't know. That's my best guess. And terrible lead, dude, into the G-Fisk. So we're going to save swap Jelly here. And we're met by a Dragonite. Now, if I don't flip switch, like, it's unlikely I can win, right? If G-Fisk is aligned with Galv, like, and also with a G-Fisk lead, you just have to assume they have some sort of counter user answer in the back. So, that's why we're playing pretty aggressively here. We're going to double shield early in the game, and I'm actually going for the double surf bait. Sometimes you got to take risks. Sometimes you're in a pretty rough situation in terms of the team composition. You got to take some risks to give yourself a chance. We took some risks. We got the double surf bait, and we outpaced the Shadow Ball before the third Dragon Claw. So this is massive. Shadow Ball knocks out. Jellicent, being a beast, flips that matchup. Now, this is a little scary to me because if Poliwrath can get off double Scald against my Galv, I think I lose because Scald does quite a bit to Galv. So here comes the first Scald, and I'm a little bit nervous because if this Poly gets to double Scald before I get to my discharge, things are looking rough. And I'm like, oh man, is this it? Do I just lose now? But it's an Icy, and I live, and then I'm patient, and I don't immediately throw. I look at that top right corner for the typing, swap into my Scrafty, and now we're in a very good spot because we have that discharge banked, and Scrafty, of course, should be able to beat this Galarian Stunfisk. I was thinking, like, since the Earthquake nerf, I would take this a little bit more comfortably, but check it out. Like, the Scrafty's actually already below half. So, at first, I was like, I can safely tank 2 Earthquakes, but it actually gets a little bit closer than you think. Look at how close it is to getting, like, a simul KO, and then the opponent top left. So, I think our boosted foul play should have KO'd from that range. And then we still had our discharge, of course, as well. So a nice little win there, overcoming the tough Galv into G-Fisk lead. And here we go on to the next battle. Who is it gonna be? Oh, Muhammad. Muhammad, a well-known member of the community. Now, I'll spoil this one a little bit. This is a good example of an opponent just completely outplaying me, but they have a tough team composition against me. So they make a beautiful catch onto the Giratina. It is a Dragon Breath Giratina. So I actually decide to bank a lunge and then go into my Jellicent. Now, if this was Shadow Claw, I might have been more inclined to go in with my Scrafty, but because it's Dragon Breath, not quite as menacing towards our Jellicent, and the debuffed Shadow Sneak just does not do very much. We're going to go for our Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball gets shielded. So Muhammad making all the right calls. I'm well aware that he could catch a Shadow Ball, or he probably intends to catch a Shadow Ball on his Ranger. I didn't think the switch timer was up yet. So pretty bad misplay by me and a great play by Muhammad. I guess it makes sense, right? Because if I stayed in to build that extra lunge, it makes sense that the switch timer was more desynced than I anticipated. I come in with Galv, gonna throw my lunge here. I was hoping to catch a move here on Scrafty since his Oranguru has so much energy. But I don't. Catching a foul play could have been nice, but he's running Trailblaze. Trailblaze actually going to hit for some solid neutral damage against us. And now I'm going to shield up. Got to shield something eventually. He goes into Gira, and we're going to get rid of this with a foul play. We don't want to take any unnecessary damage. Oh, and he lives with 1 HP and gets to the Claw. Unfortunate. Dragon Claw connects. Now what's going to be in back? It is Ampharos. Now, Ampharos is pretty quick to its moves. It takes 3 Volt Switches, then 2 to double up, so 5 total. I go for the catch. I'm unsuccessful. Muhammad calling it. And we kind of have to let this go because Ampharos has 2 moves at this point. Brutal Swing connects. And then Muhammad makes the mistake of not immediately throwing. He gets a little greedy with 1 extra Volt Switch. If he threw right away, I think he might have had us. We probably would have had to like anticipate a swap and throw our move immediately in order to find a win con. So Muhammad outplayed us the entire game, and then 1 mistake at the end was enough for us to still sneak away with the win since we had a pretty favorable team composition there. So well played to Muhammad. He outplayed the heck out of us that game. Next opponent, Galv into Swamp. Not great. We saw earlier we were able to successfully catch the Hydro and the Ice Punch twice. This opponent doesn't fall for it. So this is kind of awkward. Gonna respect the Earthquake here. Gonna build up. Actually, no, I don't build up. I just go straight Surf. That's kind of interesting. Surf lands. I would prefer, I think, in this situation to at least build up to Shadow Ball to threaten it. I think going straight Surf just kind of makes your opponent's life a little too easy. We do successfully shield double Earthquake, but we're also down 2 shields. So, as I often say, don't try this at home. You usually do not want to go down 2 shields in a game. But in this situation, we're doing it because he's staying in. We want to try and get rid of this Swampert. We get our shields back at least. So that's kind of nice. We get our shields back. Earthquake is going to connect here. Boom, does some big damage to us. I'm just going to throw the Surf right away. Get rid of this Swampert. So in the end, we're able to win the 2 shield scenario against the Swampert. But now here is a huge problem. I do get to the Shadow Ball, so this is actually pretty nice. But this thing has access to Disarming Voice. So I'm thinking, like, how much does a Disarming Voice do to Scrafty? And he just got, like, 4 Incinerates, right? Or was it 3 or 4? I forget. So I'm thinking maybe I have to tank this on Galv. I could have done a show and go there. I get the farm down so I can blind lunge something. But it ends up being a Talonflame, dude. So I think the only win con... Yeah, if I discharge the thing is like... I get outpaced. I'm not sure why he didn't throw there. And does he have Brave Bird? He does. So if I had discharged... I think he simply just throws Brave Bird sooner and one-shots us. So I don't think it was necessarily a throw, but maybe it would have been closer. There's no way Scrafty lives a Brave Bird after 2 Incinerates, does it? I wouldn't think so, but I guess it is possible. So, yeah, a bit of a misplay there from us. We're playing a little bit sloppy, but it happens sometimes. Show you the good, show you some of the bad. DD lead here. I think I might misplay this one too. Let's see what happens. He goes Psycho Boost right away. I expected him to dip after, but no, he's just completely staying in. I go for lunge. He's going to throw again. He's triple debuffed, and this was only 6, so I know this cannot be a Rock Slide. Psycho Boost once again. Going to overfarm. And you're going to see... I think this is the one you see me make a huge misplay here in the lead. I shield here, and then I lose track of his energy, and I allow him to get to another. And now it's like not really worth the shield anymore. So I come in Jelly. Gonna go for a big Hex down. He does let me Hex down, which makes things a little bit better, but does he have a hard punish to my Jelly? Let's see. What's going to come in? Trev comes in. So now I still have some hope. He's awfully... This is like a decent counter to Jelly normally, but... And then, dude, I was so concerned about the catch, I don't throw immediately. Things are just going haywire here. Then comes in Wheezing, and this is good because I need to get rid of this Wheezing. If I had swapped Scrafty or if I had tried to catch, I think he just wins. I think he just wins the game. So it's a good thing we stayed in and were patient, and he actually swapped out. So now we're able to land another Shadow Ball here against the Wheezing. Gonna do one Hex, and I'm just gonna get out because I don't think I'm gonna get to a move there. And we're in a pretty good spot here. We get off the foul play first, and 2 Seed Bombs would not KO our Scrafty. So once our opponent sees how much that did, he just decides not to throw a Seed Bomb, and that is a G to the G. Next battle, here we go. The Galv Jelly Scrafty squad. Eric is the next opponent. Dragonite's pretty tough. If you guys decide to run this team for yourselves, Dragonite lead is tough. We're going to try our best here to deal with it. Going to go for the lunge bait. Dragonite does beat all 3 of our Pokemon on paper, but all 3 at least have some play against it. Let's see. Gonna shield here to get off my next move. Dragonite will have the opportunity to throw on CMP, but it is kind of risky, right, if you're Dragonite, because you run the risk that I get an entire Volt Switch through, which wouldn't be ideal. So he's going to shield, fully farm down. I'll come in with Jelly. He's double debuff, so he swaps, which makes sense. And this ends up being really awkward. So what I learned about this matchup in the Ultra League is a really high rank Reggie will be able to tank the power-up punch plus the foul play here. So I wasn't sure, like, yeah, I go for the foul play, and it looks like Reggie's going to get to another move anyway. Plus the fact that he started a little bit ahead, I think makes a difference. Oh, he actually doesn't get there. I'm tripping. In comes Jellicent. I get a little bit panicky, and I throw after 3 instead of 4. I swap in my own Jelly. This is funny. We've covered a lot of mistakes I've been making, and then even sometimes when I'm not making mistakes, I'm like, I think I messed this up. We just simply throw our Shadow Ball here to get rid of Jelly, and although Dragonite should reach double Dragon Claw here, I think we should be tanky enough to withstand a double Dragon Claw from the Shadow D-Knight. These Dragon Breaths are adding up, but as you see by our health bar and how much that previous one did, we should live. We have the Surf loaded, and there should be enough from this range to take out the Shadow D-Knight. G to the G against our opponent. And I think we got one more battle left in the video. Bonus battle, because those were 2 sets back to back. We got a sneak peek at the last lead. Looks like a positive lead for us. Monstars 50. Terrific battler. Plays for the Cool Cats, I believe. And they swap in Skunk. So what I'm immediately thinking here is there's a common line of Poliwrath double Dark Poison. So I'm thinking it could be like a Drapion in the back or a Muck. But usually that's the safe swap, actually. So maybe that assumption didn't make sense. But because I have a hard punish to the Poliwrath in my Jellicent, I decided to stay in. And if I can just win this matchup, then I'm going to be chilling. He does actually barely live and gets off his move. So if I had gone for Discharge there instead of Lunge, I actually would have knocked out. But on the flip side, if I don't Lunge, he can probably shield and like farm me all the way down. Guz comes in. I have to just let this go, and I simply just keep alignment here. This game's not completely over because he is up a shield. So our opponent's only win con is like somehow being able to combo play us, where play this matchup out here and then eventually land a move from the Guzzlord onto the Jelly. I did consider baiting there because that's kind of the best thing for him to shield. But I decided not to risk it, because if I surf there, it just seems like maybe giving him unnecessary win cons. So yeah, the bait just didn't seem really necessary, even though I wanted to bait there. Would have been kind of nice. Shadow Ball coming through. After these debuffs, it doesn't quite do half of the remaining health. And we're just keeping an eye on that switch timer, making sure we don't allow a catch, making sure we don't allow a combo. And look at that, we are able to catch on our Scrafty. He only had the claw loaded. He knows I'm not gonna give him an entire free Dragon Tail and then still catch. So he knows I'm not gonna give him an entire free Dragon Claw and then still be in to allow him to throw it. So he just comboed with what he had loaded. And if that connected, I think this could have been his game. And we get a full counter down. I wanted to make sure not to let my Scrafty be too healthy to give him a bigger farm. We do land the foul play. He gets a few counters. And luckily, we have the move loaded. He does not. Argeli still had some health, so maybe we live a Scald from there. It would have been kind of close, but I think we probably live a Scald. Would have been awfully close. And there you have it. That's the Galv team. There were several top lefts in this video, so I think that's why we went with Galvantula makes people surrender line. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.